Hi Ashley, how you doing? Thank you so much for including your work for critique. You know, if you didn't struggle, I would say that there would be a problem. And this is a natural in the transition from magazine ad to web banner, especially if you've never done it before. Now, if you were to do this assignment again, you would have some things in mind. For example, you would look at your background image, and before even deciding to use it, you would say, okay, how can I use this background image to transition, the cropped to the cropped, less area associated with the banner ad. And same thing with your typographic compositions as well. So yes, definitely, that's good. I was glad to read that. I wasn't glad to read that you were struggling. I was glad to read that you had the foresight to understand that, yes, this transition is something that is not completely natural. And I think if you didn't have issues with it at first, I would think that something would be amiss, so to speak. So for the banner, I wanted to include part of the truth. Yes, everything here is working. Your writing is telling me that you're onto these logical progressions that happen with the transition between the magazine ad and the web banner. So I was really glad to read this. This is all good, healthy stuff right here, Ashley. And I say that because as a designer, it's really important to be able to communicate your experience with any given project. And that's important. It points to understanding, and it points to your how you've absorbed it. It really points to your ability to be able to communicate your decisions in in an expeditious way. So that's fantastic. It also shows your it points to proficiency in understanding as well as execution. So good job. All right, that's it. Oh, and thank you very much for including your magazine ad. That helps for comparison's sake, and this is great. The magazine ad it's great. As I mentioned before, I think it's a good ad. The one thing I would recommend in a magazine ad is this type right here is really, really large, and also the black I think is creating a really too much of contrast between the white headline and the black body copy. For that reason, I would recommend you reduce the type size here, and maybe even change it to white. I think that and reduced white. That I think that subhead is a little bit large as well. Also, the subhead, consider title case on this instead of first word capitalized and the rest in lowercase. I would consider title case on that. Okay, moving to the web banner. Good job. I think you picked a great part of the magazine ad, the background image. It's a good crop. It's great. I mean, you're not losing any meaning at all. There's enough visual consistency to understand that this is a campaign. It's an ad campaign. It's not two individual ads. So there's enough here to clearly indicate that. Good job placing the mask. That's cute. I like that. Good decision there. This is a great ad. I think you've done a fantastic job. That said, there's a couple of things I would recommend here to improve your page page mechanics. The subhead here, the wrapping paper. Yeah, so right here, roll out the beach towels instead. I'm going to see this, but I'm looking at the cadence instead of rolling out the wrapping paper. I would say keep this, roll out the beach towels. Maybe keep it like that as opposed to breaking that line right there. Well, actually, it's okay. It's okay. But what I'm getting at is, again, is title case, and don't animate this. Leave this static. It's going to create a lot of meaning here. So let's leave the subhead static. Then just animate the call to action. That's it. Just animate the call to action. And consider, again, you've got the black here, and you've got the black here. Good consistency, but again, I just think it's just too stark. That black is really advancing in the composition. It seems not to be on the same visual plane as this white type here, so I would consider a different color for the type, as well as the body copy in the magazine. And again, this is pretty big. This is pretty big too. I don't think it needs to be this big. Also, consider left aligning this. Since this is left aligned, let's get some good consistency here. Left align that. Okay, when you reduce the files, the type size, it's going to give you a little bit more room so that the last word in this subhead is not going to really encroach on the call to action. Okay, my final look at alignment. This is good alignment right here. That's nice. Right here, let's take a look at where the bottom of the type is. Follow that along and try to align your body copy with the bottom of the type of the logo. That will create some good visual harmony. Other than that, you're just onto a really wonderful campaign. So fantastic work. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to make some adjustments, resubmit, run it by me, I'll be glad to provide further critique. Anything that you do between now and time to submit your final work, which is coming up quickly, I'll be glad to provide final critique and comments on that. So if you're working, I'm working, all right? So please don't hesitate to resubmit and ask for further comments. All right, fantastic work. Really enjoying the campaign so far. Again, questions, give me a holler. Thank you very much.